A Japanese man in his late 20s, early 30s had just started releasing a manga in Weekly Shonen Jump, a popular manga anthology. It became an instant hit and has sold over 159 million copies in Japan alone. Have you guessed what it is? Well, I mean, you clicked on this video, so you should obviously know what I'm talking about. It's Dragon fucking Ball. And that sounded wrong. Probably should have worded that better. But no, seriously, Dragon Ball as a franchise has probably been one of the most successful shonen things ever. It spawned spin-offs, sequels, TV adaptations, trading cards, theatrical movies, DVD movies, live-action movies, crossovers, and, of course, video games. Dragon Ball games are notorious for being flip-floppy. They can be amazing games like Budokai 3 or Legacy of Goku, which I really personally liked, or complete messes like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 or Dragon Ball Connect. However, the more recent Dragon Ball games have been at most decent. Dimps, the developer of previous 3D Dragon Ball games, have decided to step their game up and released a kinda spiritual successor to Dragon Ball Online, Dragonball Xenoverse. If you don't know what Dragon Ball Online was, it basically explains itself. Dragon Ball Online was an MMO Dragon Ball game in which you create characters from multiple races, and like most MMOs, complete quests, talk to NPCs, get items, etc. The game itself was met with moderate reception, but by 2013, October 31st, servers were shut down. So this brings us to Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Xenoverse borrows many of the mechanics from Dragon Ball Online and uses quests, character customization, multiple races, but gets rid of the MMO aspect, but still leaving co-op play with friends and randoms. The second you begin the game, you start as Goku fighting Frieza, Cell, and Kid Buu. After that is finished, a cool animated sequence begins with the Z Fighters battling more sinister versions of their foes and ends with Trunks wishing for a capable fighter, which is where you come in. The character creation system is varied enough that you can create a rather unique avatar. You can choose from 5 races, including Saiyans, Humans, Majins, and Namekians, and Frieza Clan, whatever that is. Each race has its pros and cons. From there, you can choose height, bulk, color, hair, face. You know, the basics. You then start the tutorial, which involves lots and lots of walls of text. Afterwards, Trunks tells you that something is horribly wrong with time, and it's up to you to fix it. This is our time patrol, or main story. Other than that, the game presents you with its quest system, or a parallel quest, in which you can select from the main hub and play. There's 55 of them, so it's plenty of side content. Speaking of the hub is a round circle, and it's fairly sizable, allowing you to visit shops, talk to NPCs, and perform other duties. I won't lie, getting lost in the beginning is probably going to happen, but you learn the hub world fairly quickly. The gameplay itself can be described as good or bad, depending where you come from. Since this game is basically an RPG, when you do quests, you get EXP, which levels you up, and when you level up, you get stat points. Putting them in different categories do different things for your characters. Health means, well, more health. Ki means more energy. Stamina means you can dodge, transform, fly, and block longer. Basics means you hit harder. Strikes equal melee supers, and ki supers, which are ki supers. Like I said earlier, each race has its pros and cons, so deciding what you put your points into are pretty important. I played through the game as a melee Saiyan. It can be described as press X and Y. The melee in the game is akin to something from the Naruto games. It's the same over and over. There's only like 10 freaking combos in the game. I mean, it's not bad, but you could have at least added another page. Otherwise, the combat system is fine. You can substitute the punch in ki moves and strike supers, which spiced up the fighting a bit more, and along with transformations, boosts, and potions, and ultimate moves, is different enough not to be a huge problem. I must mention that the number of items in this game is actually jarring. The amount of items that we can collect is ridiculous, ranging from clothes, potions, buffs, and accessories, and quest items. I found myself at times getting overwhelmed with the amount of things in my inventory. On the other hand, the character roster in the game is fairly small for Dragon Ball, with only 47 playable base characters. I don't mind this, but the other playable characters are very lackluster compared to your created one. There's no reason to play the other guys. They're weak, their moves are equipable. It's really disappointing to see the characters become completely irrelevant when it comes to PvP. So, what about the story? Meh, it's generic and makes sense with Dragon Ball. Someone's messing with the space-time continuum, making villains more powerful and heroes more villainous. Then you go around punching the evil out of people, fixing the timelines. While you're fighting Mira and Toa, the main bad guys, they are soon revealed that they aren't actually the main bad guys, and it's a demon lord that's been locked away in another dimension. Scratch what I said earlier, None of this makes any goddamn sense. You see this demon guy for like one cutscene, and all of a sudden he's the main antagonist. I know it's generic, and I know it's what you expect from Dragon Ball, but the goals of these villains are so damn boring. The mirror guy is a puppet or a creation of Toa, and they want to harvest the energy from people by making them more powerful. I don't know if I was too stupid to pick it up or something, but I have no idea how the fuck they are doing this. By regular logic, they'd be losing power because they're giving other people energy and making them stronger. I don't know why I'm arguing. I'm playing a fucking Dragon Ball game. I dropped $50 fucking dollars. Don't buy on release, kids. But the main gripe I had with this game was the voice acting. Good lord, the voice acting is abysmal. Sure, they got some of the original VAs to return, but it sounds like they just said their lines once and asked if it was okay, and the guy listening just nodded because he was too busy jerking it off. Of course, Trunks and Goku sound fine, but that's due to them being the main focus other than your character. However, they still sound a bit bored. I mean, after 20 years of playing the same character, you'd think these guys would just give up and go to Malibu with their money. Otherwise, the sound of this game was actually pretty good. The SSX was perfect with the punches and the flying, and oh my god, do not get me started on that soundtrack. Every time I launched the game, I was hyped, pumped, ready to kick some ass. This has got to be some of the best Dragon Ball game soundtracks to date. The intro, which uses Flo's version of Cha-La Head Cha-La, is probably one of the best things to hear when you launch the game. It's really nostalgic and it's really fun. But I can't play it for you because copyright. I do wish though more tracks from the original Dragon Ball was used though. However, I still have two more problems with the game. One, the graphical and translation errors, and two, the fucking servers. A lot of times during cutscenes, certain characters wouldn't appear or start glitching out violently, very violently, or key items wouldn't even appear on screen. Not only that, when characters talk, the portraits aren't even of them. I don't know if that's part of the game's code or just the way they translated it, but I'll keep it under both categories. There's actually a quest in the game that triggers dialogue between Krillin and Tien, but however, in the dialogue box it says, Piccolo, what's your relation status with Launch? I don't know if I missed out some on important crucial arc where Piccolo and Launch go out, but that doesn't sound right. Not only that, with the glitching, it wasn't only in the cutscenes. In-game as well, abilities would disappear but still do damage, or the aura around your characters disappear when it really shouldn't. These break the game's immersion greatly and are really annoying. Now for the biggest turnoff of this game. Like most online games today, the servers. Holy shit, it must be a goddamn clusterfuck if every single platform is experiencing server issues. After completing a mission, I would get kicked out to the main menu, sometimes even losing my rewards for that mission. Not only that, sometimes I couldn't even start the game, because before you start, you have to connect to the Xenoverse server just to play the single player. I know that you can never really anticipate how many people are going to play your game, but god damn, fix your shit when you realize something is messed up. It doesn't help that Namco and Dims aren't mainly Western companies, so when us over here complain, the message rarely gets across. Okay, so I was writing this like a week the game came out and got lazy, so I didn't come back till around this month. But hey, Namco got their shit together. As soon as I started writing, Namco was already on delivering servers maintenance and patches, and I must say, things really are fixed. I'm speaking for PC, however. I don't know if the other platforms have gotten fixed yet, but hey, good job, guys. Overall, the game is fun, but with a couple issues, it can hinder the experience for some. This game is made for Dragon Ball fans, and honestly, I don't see someone who's never really enjoyed the Dragon Ball franchise to like this game. But if you love Dragon Ball, this game is a must try. It has fun gameplay with extensive things to do. It's faithful to the ideas of Dragon Ball, and the ability to insert yourself into this wonderful universe is a plus on its own. I enjoyed the game, but I would not buy it at full price. Get it on D2A or wait for it to go on sale if it ever does. Dragon Ball Xenoverse gets a 6.5 out of 10.